and the folks at GBT that we wanted to be partners, better partners with the community. And we started celebrating Earth Day around 10 years ago. And just this year we were with the zoo at Party for the Planet, which is a great weekend. The staff loves that. Last week we had the opportunity to be on a panel at the Discovery Museum. It's a great place. Bill, thank you for inviting us to that with the DEP Commissioner. And over the last 2 years with Green Village Initiative, partnering to help people get to and from the community gardens. But our agency, you may ask, why are we celebrating Earth Day as a bus company? But we're providing every day maybe 16 to 17,000 boardings in the city of Bridgeport. And there are benefits to public transportation that sometimes go unnoticed. There's the reduction in emissions, the reduction in congestion, the reduced surface parking, and reduced demand for non-renewable resources. And transit agencies for a long time have claimed those benefits as part of public transportation, but they're really derived from the choices that the riders are making. So 17,000 customers every day choosing to ride together, to take the bus. And so about a decade ago, GBT and some other transit agencies started to look beyond that. What could we do about our own operations to go beyond the benefits that we see from the riders using the service? And we actually began with what was a great gift, so to speak, from the Connecticut Department of Transportation of two hybrid diesel-electric buses. And they were very well received, 30 to 40% more efficient than the diesel buses they replaced. And so we used those for a few years, and then in a recent procurement added another 20 hybrids. So the fleet in Bridgeport is now 39% hybrid diesel-electric, and that's great. So
that's great.
And we're buying probably between 5,000 and 6,000 fewer gallons of diesel fuel every month on that. And so as we move to try to green that fleet, one of the things we're doing now is exploring full electric buses. And again, through this kind of a large partnership with the Federal Transit Administration, with the Connecticut Department of Transportation, with an agency, a not-for-profit in Atlanta, Georgia, called Center for Transportation and the Environment, an electric bus manufacturer in South Carolina. We recently finished the specifications and what we in transit call pre-procurement, getting ready to build 2 full electric buses to operate in the Bridgeport region, which we expect will be delivered.
Okay, now we all got to clap for that.
Right. Yeah. So we expect them to be delivered in late winter, early spring. I'm hopeful that maybe next year we'll be back here again after we've deployed the full electric buses. So it's the beginning of zero emission buses incorporated into the GBT fleet, and we'll go from the first 2. Right on the heels of that, we'll order 3 more, and eventually work our way up to what we think will be 11 zero-emission buses in the fleet as we continue to use the hybrid. So they're built in South Carolina, and we're looking forward to all of that.
I gotta tell you, when I ride my bike to work every day, and I get behind one of the old buses, that was not so cool. But now I'm gonna be excited because I'm not gonna be sucking any fumes in the future.
You won't see that too. So. And they have all the other features all the other features that we have for the riders on the other buses. So the propulsion system is what's changed the most on it. I can see a question coming.
No, I think that it's daunting what we have to face, right? The population of the Earth is now 7.4 billion. When I was born, it was around 3. So in my lifetime, if I'm lucky enough to live 80
that was
years,
just 3, right?
Three people, yeah. Right.
Right. Just checking.
Cro-Magnon. Yeah. Me, Donald Trump, and we still fought even back then. The population in my lifetime, if I'm lucky enough to live 80 years. Okay, look at me, Greg. It's hard, I know, but think of it. In our lifetime, the world population will triple. Spaceship Earth can't always handle what we do and how we behave because we're continually releasing carbon from the crust. An interesting lesson that we show at the Discovery Museum with Science on a Sphere, which is an incredible large globe, you've all seen it I think here in the studio, where we can do lessons to show what is it going to look like when the waters rise, as they will continue to do, just with what we've already baked into the climate. What will the ice caps look like? Where will the water grow? What will the temperature of the oceans be? And how will these huge evaporations now off the oceans and the downpours, what will they mean to us as it washes away our topsoil or inundates our land? We need to see this so that we can avoid it, right? And we need to see it so that we can decide how we're going to live on our spaceship. But the interesting thing we also show is we show the solar system. And both Venus and Earth are almost identical. We're both in the same distance from the sun, pretty much, in that Goldilocks zone that is just the right temperature so that water doesn't leave the planet and we can survive. And so if you look at Venus and Earth, what's the difference? One is 800 degrees and one is 65 degrees. Why is that? One has a carbon cycle that continues to capture the carbon and reincorporate it into the Earth's crust or its vegetation. All of Venus's carbon, for the most part, has been released into its atmosphere, and so it becomes a giant hothouse of 800 degrees. We don't want that to happen. A runaway greenhouse effect can have that effect. We just have to look at our neighboring planet of Venus that we can all look up in the sky and see has